I never didn't believe in Bigfoot. I never believed in it. I didn't believe in it. I never gave it any thought.
They kept wood knocking back and forth to each other, and it was in a pattern.
Barn owls don't typically throw rocks.
I come across these tracks.
Sasquatch is still not on my mind.
And here we are. We're back. First live show I've done in a while. Kind of pumped. Getting my chops back. Got a full chat. Got Amanda, don't call me the Bigfoot lady, Stowers. How's it going?
I am good. How are you today?
Coming in hot from Georgia.
Yes. It is finally warm today, or at least it has been compared to whatever version of winter we had this last week.
Mm-hmm. There's going to be storms next weekend. I hope they stay south or like don't happen at all.
Well, if they come too far south, they'll hit me, depending on where you are.
Well, I'm farther north than you are, latitudinally. I'm in North Alabama. I'm in latitudinally.
Oh, okay.
I'm in North Alabama. If you're in Helena, Georgia, not Helena, but Blue Springs, Blue Ridge.
Yeah, Blue Ridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too far from the Tennessee state line.
Well, I know where you're at. We're over there by Les Durant's house. You ever have any dealings with him?
Yes. Yeah, he's been to the museum a couple of times, and I've actually sent some people to him via messenger and stuff like that. People come in with some like UFO stuff or something and actually looking for help. I'm like, that's not my wheelhouse, but I know a guy.
He taught me how to do the CE5s, and it actually worked one time, and it scared me. I went back in the house.
Oh no!
I made something appear in my backyard. Like, no, not even a joke. It wasn't an airplane. It wasn't a meteor. It was a bright white light that did this semicircle.
Oh wow!
Real quick.
Yeah. No, thank you.
And I come back inside, and Roger's doing a show with Les when that exact happened.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was like, what? How weird is that? Yoder Knott said he talked to somebody yesterday. Yeah. Well, I had Les on before, and he just with his little ghost lights.
Mm-hmm.
Bob sent me a message for you. Yeah, man, I saw a UFO in my backyard. I'm like Shelby Lowe now. Seen a UFO, drank some homemade 100 proof. So we got the kind of a subscriber. Oh, did it go away and not bother you again? No, it just did. You know how the Amazon logo looks? The semicircle that goes like a smiley face. Yeah, it did that shape, but it was a really, really bright light, really quick. Almost like it was an intergalactic state trooper flashing his high beams, flashing his blue lights. It was that quick. I've seen meteor showers. They don't look like that. This was a light, not something burning. It was crazy, and it went away.
That's interesting.
I can't get it to happen again. I guess they're like, we did it one time. You know what the deal is now. You're just being a spoiled brat. It's kind of what I think. Like, I'll go trying to make things happen. Like, we're real. I had another question in here. I'm sorry for the cough drops. Like, I'm hacking my brains out. But I had to get to know Amanda before the conference next weekend because I'm going to be emceeing it. And I want to at least know a few of the people I'm in. So I got Greg Ogles. He'll be there.
Yeah, I'm excited to meet him and see his new documentary.
Oh, you never seen it?
Not yet. I hadn't. So behind the scenes stuff, I actually met Adam Davies sometime last year. He came by the museum there in Blue Ridge where I work, and he got to talking about it, and he was like, "It's on the down low. You can't talk about it." he was telling. I was overhearing the conversation about it. I was like, and he was talking about some of the footage they captured and everything. I'm like, "Oh, that sounds so exciting! I can't wait to see it."
It's a good one. We set up beside Adam and Greg during the premiere.
Oh, nice.
I didn't even. They walked up and sat beside us. Yeah, Roger. He did film some of that while we were at the LBL, and all the footage was corrupted. All of it.
Oh,
Yeah. Hmm. That's a little fun fact. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell it or not. I don't know. But I've got a copy of that on my phone of his documentary. What are you gonna say? Sorry.
I could understand. I'm about to say. I want to say I heard somewhere somebody had mentioned that it had some parts of it
Mm-hmm.
had gotten corrupted, which actually isn't very uncommon whenever it
No.
comes to filming this kind of stuff.
I'm hoping it doesn't happen to me tomorrow when I film the last 5 minutes of my documentary at a place where one was seen.
Oh yeah, hopefully not.
Like, don't do it now. We did so many. We got almost to the end. Yeah, Greg sold DVDs, and he had problems with the manufacturer. They couldn't get the formatting right. He's just like, hey, you just want to. Here's a copy of it. You delete it when you get the DVD in the mail.
Like, okay.
We got it on my phone. But yeah, it's a good one. He does some stuff with Adam Davies, of course, like you said, and who else was in there?
Wasn't Martin Groves in there?
Yes, Martin Groves and Barton.
Okay, I gotta have Barton Dunley there.
But there was a scene where when he has the encounter, like I was like, holy crap, that's real. Like the wood knock and everything. Got some good audio of it.
That's awesome.
And I'm not
Speaking of audio, I was looking at the guest list for the conference this weekend on earlier today, and I forget the gentleman's name, but the guy, he's going to be speaking about like the audio stuff, the audio analysis of things there. I'm actually really excited to have somebody learn about or to teach us about that, because that's one of the things I don't really know a lot about when people are talking, showing the other than like, the visual, obviously, when they're showing the audio, this is down here for a wolf or an owl, but way up here is, the Sasquatch sound. So it'll be really neat to actually learn and know the different things.
There's actually a note I took from your TikTok about the Scott Nelson.
Oh,
how he does the audio analysis, and he went on that old show, Joe Rogan Questions Everything.
Yes, yeah, and of course Joe Rogan of all people is like, yeah, that's baloney. I'm like, let's ask you about that now, Mr. Rogan. Seeing how the million crazy people you've talked to now on your podcast, but that was back when he still had hair.
And he, I went through that show and gotten guests off of it.
Oh, nice.
Have you seen the whole series? It's
I
on
have
it's on a
not, no.
playlist on YouTube. It's Bigfoot, weather, artificial weather, AI, biological weapons, and remote viewing, and something else. Probably aliens, yeah. And I got one of the remote viewers on, Amanda The Goats. I found out I knew one of his relatives, so I reached out to him.
Oh, dude, talk about a small world. That's crazy.
Like, it's a cool episode too, because Joe starts, doing the remote viewing. I know, I'm doing this because symbolize it, but then he like actually
right
sees it, like the structure. That stuff's real.
I absolutely believe that. Absolutely. And I believe there are people who have those abilities. And then, of course, like everything else, there can be some fakes as well. But there's definitely people who can do that.
And I don't
I'm
like
not
the
one of those
ones
people who have that gift.
I don't like the ones that come on to these shows like this and start crying about experiences they've had and start choking themselves up. I'm like, you're fake if you do that to me. Trying to like make you emotional, trying to do the old John Edwards thing from the early 2000s where they start guessing grandmother's name from the audience. I'm hearing a G. I'm hearing grandma. Grandma says hi. Those people.
Yeah.
What did Roger say, Brian?
Yeah, I was about to mention that because I saw say it in the comments. Pyromedics said that they were going to release more of the Sierra sounds, and Roger just interviewed Brian the other day, and that was really cool. And I'm super excited about whatever it is he's got from Mr. Moorhead.
Yeah, if there's a part 2 to that DVD, I would love to see it. I thought I wanted to get more into the researching when I started doing these. Turned out I just like talking to people about it. Because I'm like, man, I just want to. I get into the research, end up out inside of my own head and forgetting where I'm at. You know, you're in the woods and you just want to go camping all the time. And then I'm like, forget what I really started it for, is to have a podcast. 18 hours.
18 hours. Wow. Holy smokes.
18 hours. What is it on? It's like a mainframe? Those things are from the 70s.
Yes. How many reels did they tote up into the mountains there with them? That's crazy.
I really wish we'd get some. I know I don't do live shows because my ADHD is popping off. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a subscriber special anyway.
Yeah, if he was watching me last week with Roger and it was just me and him talking like we're doing here in the comments, man, my ADHD was going crazy. Like, oh yeah, we're talking about books. Hang on a second, let me go get some. And talking about them, like I was just letting my ADHD take over, and it was actually fun.
Yeah, Yoder. I have too. Like I go on these channels and I've talked to so many people that
that's true. Yeah.
I talked to so many people that by proxy I feel like I know something about it, which I don't. Like, yeah, dude, Minnesota. I mean, it could all be lies. I could be lied to about everything. Listen, what is Misty saying?
See, I've taken a really cool report from Minnesota one time.
There's some good ones up there. That was my first real Bigfoot guest, and that's why I was like, man, because I love the subject matter, always have. I don't know why I've never had experience or anything close. Well, I've had something kind of close, but but it fascinates me. It doesn't make any sense because it's kind of boring if you think about it. Like, but it's like anytime I start talking about it, I get on this rambling. Like, okay, so are they apes? Are they ghosties? Like, are they fairies? The Fae correlation. Have you ran down that list yet?
Yes.
Are they the exact same phenomenon?
Yes, it is. And I forget what it was. I want to say it might have been an episode of the Confessionals. It was one of the older episodes. Anyway, it was talking about little green men, but it was a guy from Ireland. And he's talking about the leprechauns and how the correlation between that and aliens, like the Greys, were a thing. That was a really cool rabbit hole. And it also delved into, the Fae rabbit hole as well, which is really, really fun. I love looking at the old stuff like that.
I had no idea.
Kind of my wheelhouse.
What's his name? Jason McLean from Texas, the comic book writer. He's a researcher. You probably know the face, but he told he told me about that, and he started running them down. And I'm like, oh my god, that's what it is. And I don't think it's necessarily the Fae like a Bigfoot are fairies. They're not Tinkerbell. I think that John Keel, Mothman Prophecies, of Mothman Prophecies fame, he was talking about how the cryptids and the aliens of the time also depict our mental depiction of them at the time. Like if we think they look like stick men with fat bellies, what they see is that. So it's almost like they're tulpas built into our current psyche. Like they're real, but they're tulpas at the same time. Like the Fae back in those days, the Fae were like actual fairies, and now they turn into Bigfoot because they want them to be Bigfoot. They want us to see them.
Yeah, or they're just another version of them in some way. Like obviously we're different type of humans. There's so many different types of Fae in there, especially in some of the old legends in the UK and Scotland and everything, which is where a lot of some of the stuff here in Appalachia came from.
One of my favorite Appalachia thing is how the not deer, the Wendigo with the antlers didn't appear till the Scottish appeared. Before it was just like a rake, like a scrawny guy that hissed at you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it wasn't like Wendigos don't have antlers. That's not.
Yeah, so I was going to say, no, they don't actually have antlers. They are just like I said, they're very much more like a rake type thing.
Like
The antler thing was more of a just like a fan art kind of thing. I didn't know about the whole Scotch-Irish thing. I'll have to look into that.
I could be butchering this, but like the Appalachians are actually in the Scotland and Ireland. The other half.
Yes, they are.
No, the other half of the puzzle. When somebody was saying, "What if the cryptids were there the whole time and it split?" I'm like, no, I think it's more of the people migrated here and brought their myths with them. Brought their
Yes and no.
yeah, it could be.
I could see that being a possibility, but yeah, I could definitely see that. I've actually had the great opportunity to go to Scotland. I was there in 2019. My hubby and I went there for our 10th anniversary, and of course, we went to Loch Ness and went to a bunch of like standing stone Celtic sites and everything. And as somebody who grew up here in the mountains in Appalachia and then going over there and seeing that, I can definitely see why they would want to settle in this area because it's so similar in like some of the best ways possible, you know, from their mannerisms to just the landscape. And it was really cool. It was just absolutely awesome experience.
That would be cool to see. How's the vegetation similar? Is it like hardwoods?
The parts of it that I saw, we were up in the highlands, so you were starting to get into more like the barren rock
brambles and stuff.
Brambles and stuff. Yeah, a lot of pine.
Mhm.
One of the last Airbnbs we stayed at, it was kind of tucked back into this little pine thicket, and I was like, I could have swore I was in some pine thicket down here in the south because that's all I could smell was the pine tree and everything. You know, you could hear the birds chirping and stuff. It sounded exactly like I was here. I wasn't, you know, half the world away.
I think it'd be crazy to see if you were in Scotland in the mountains and there's just rhododendrons everywhere, like the Smokies.
Yes,
like that would freak
that would
me
be
out.
crazy.
Yeah,
we went a little south and we kind of drove through it, but unfortunately I was actually driving the vehicle at that time, so I didn't get to look too much because I had to pay attention. And driving on the wrong side of the road and the wrong side of the vehicle, that's a whole new experience. But anyhow, we drove through one of the national forests there, and it was gorgeous. You know, they had a lot of the trees, a lot of the hardwoods, oak and stuff like that. I could definitely tell oak when we would come around it, but it was like early spring. It was May when we were there, so kind of like here, you know, a little bit late on everything getting leaves on the trees and stuff.
Call them live oaks.
Mm-hmm.
They got those live oaks down at the Outer Banks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were connected, and so was the ones in Morocco. Yeah, it's Morocco to Scotland, Ireland, and here. Morocco mole.
Yeah, if I remember, I think it goes up there, but I think it is a part of like the front part of Portugal and then you get into Morocco. So a little bit of Europe or modern Europe, and then the whole Atlantic Ocean just split it in half, and that's why they say the Appalachians are as old as they are because, well, they were part of the one of the original mountain ranges in Pangaea.
Yeah, and there was no fossils in Appalachian caves because the caves were built before bones existed.
Yep.
I will fight any Rocky Mountain son of a bitch comes at me. And we have trailheads. Yeah, well, your mountains are teenagers and
when your mountains are older than bone, I don't want to hear it.
Older than trees. That's one of my favorite things to talk about in when it comes to how old they are, because I have a lot of paleontologists on. And there's not a ton of there's the Appalachiosaurus, which is basically a big theropod, like a little T-Rex kind of thingy. But there's like one dinosaur bone found in Tennessee, and it was a tailbone from a duck-billed dinosaur, hadrosaur.
Oh, cool.
But for the most part, they all washed down to the ocean over here when this was still in the ocean. That's why you don't see many of them. The wee folks, the puckwudgies. It's my favorite cryptid that's not a Bigfoot.
The little people.
Yeah, I just want to give them some tobacco. I would definitely give a puckwudgie a thing of tobacco. Build them a little hut. That's what they do in the in Mexico. They'll build a building and it'll burn down, and they'll have to build a hut for the puckwudgie and give it something to eat, and it won't burn down again.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's something I've wanted to look into, is if there's any correlation between the Cherokee little people, myths, legends, the Moon-Eyed people, and the puckwudgies. If there's any similarities in that.
I kind of think all those weird off the wall cryptids that don't have a lot of regularly scheduled sightings. Like you got your big one, you got your your Bigfoot and your things like that, but you got the other ones like praying mantis and lizard and what have you. And I think
frogman.
Yeah, I think sometimes they misidentified animals. So probably 9 out of 10 times. But sometimes, maybe when they come from the other realm, they they choose their body like a Fortnite skin. Like I don't
Yeah.
want to be a Bigfoot today. I want to be a praying mantis lizard.
Yeah, there's some kind of they're shapeshifter, or they're a reptilian. Their button for their human skin got messed up that day, or something crazy like that.
I had this big hypothesis a long time ago before I got into the woo part of it, and I thought maybe they were biological suits for aliens. Like that was their astronaut suit for being on this planet. I even had like the prologue for a book written about it. I don't know where it went.
It's definitely a possibility. It wouldn't surprise me none at all. There's so many possibilities out there.
It's in the same vein of, remember Independence Day when they captured that one alien and he was wearing a suit that was like his own body but bigger. Like it was a biological suit, and he cut it open and he's in there riding it like a mech suit.
Yeah,
that was that same thought. I'm hacking over here.
Or I always think of more of the Men in Black with the Edgar suits.
I just watched both of those today and yesterday.
Oh, nice.
HBO recommended them to me.
I saw a meme on it the other day. I didn't want to watch them again.
Wow. Yeah, Edgar's hilarious. It's Private Pile from Full Metal Jacket. That's who plays.
Oh my god! I've never put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's some Oscar-worthy acting.
I've never put those two together.
7.62 millimeter Full Metal Jacket. Yeah, he's in all kinds of stuff. He was even in Jurassic Park, Jurassic World.
Okay, I haven't seen the Jurassic World movies in a while. I need to rewatch them too, since that new one's coming out.
Vincent D'Onofrio. I had to look his name up. But yeah, he was Edgar. And that one lady who was his wife was in another show I watched the other day. Dumb looking lady, always has buck tooth doing. Trading card deck of cryptids. They probably already have that, Misty.
I think they actually do.
There's no way they don't. I mean, they sell it at that store Amanda works in.
No, technically, yes. We don't have trading cards. We have like poker, like regular playing cards.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of like playing cards.
Yeah. There's playing cards, and then trading cards would be like Pokemon or Magic. Yeah, baseball cards.
I brought all my baseball cards home from my mom's house 2 weeks ago. And I've got like 1,000 of them, and they're worth nothing.
Yep.
I thought for sure I'd have enough to pay for like college fund or something. When I was little, I was like, I'm gonna save these, pay for my kids' college fund. I couldn't pay for a tank of gas.
I did the same thing with Barbie dolls. Even up into my teenage years, every Christmas and even my birthday, I would get a Barbie doll. Some like fancy one for that particular season. I'm saving them, keep them up there on the shelf because they'll be worth something one day. You'll be able to pay off some debt with them or something. No, wasn't worth a thing. wasn't even worth putting them on eBay or anything.
Not even worth the time.
No, exactly. That's it. I could have done it and maybe made like $10, $15 a piece, if that. But yeah, it wasn't even worth the time of dealing with it. Much less paying for the shipping and everything. So I just ended up donating a good portion of them to charity.
Boxing them up. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Sending this out across the planet. I think I had one Bobby Cox from the Braves. I had one of his cards. It was $15. And that was the most expensive one I had.
High dollar there.
Like, how do I have every Nolan Ryan card known to man? I couldn't fill up my truck with it. I thought for sure, like, I don't know. I thought I had something. I'm like, oh yeah, I want to get these and parse them out and maybe pay a chunk of the house off. Nah, I couldn't.
They were the Beanie Babies of their day too.
Beanie Babies. Michael Scott to you there. I forgot about Beanie Babies. Those things were. What was the one, the Ferdinand the Bull, the red one? That was supposed to be like the most expensive.
I don't remember that, but I had the Princess Diana special one, and of course that was going to be the big ticket there.
I gotta look this up. Yeah, it was Red Bull Beanie Baby they're still $50. Hey, somebody's got it on here for 800. Get out of here. Somebody buying your bean. They made Barbie your female chief. Made a Barbie of our female chief. Sold out in one day.
That's funny.
That would almost be disrespectful for something like that. The way the Barbie looks, unproportional, and with her legs like this. Now they have the Chelsea dolls. It's like a rehashed Barbie with a million times more accessories, and they get all over the house.
Yeah. Or those the Bratz dolls was a big thing for a while, and then now you got the little LOLs. My nieces have been obsessed with those for years, and yeah, the little pieces are everywhere.
And Polly Pocket.
Oh yeah,
I miss
Polly Pocket came out originally when I was little, so they've come back again. They've made a comeback.
Well, now they're big.
Yeah.
Now they're like 4 or 5 inches tall. Polly Pockets used to be like a micro machine for girls.
Yeah, they were like literally itty bitty.
What the thing was? They were in a compact. Like their little house was in a compact, and so girls could feel like they had
a little clamshell type thing. It would open up, and then there'd be little places, and her little feet were just a little circle, and you could pop her into her feet in the little thing to not lose her.
It was for like girls that didn't wear makeup, that made them feel like they were their mom with their little mirror and thing.
It was fun to play make believe with them, but they were kind of boring after a while. There wasn't really much. You really had to use your imagination,
and you lose them.
Yes,
kind of like Pongs and what's the other thing they used to play? Pokemon cards. There's something else that wasn't Pongs. What are we talking about?
I don't know. We're talking about toys now.
Yeah, I'm just like off the rails here. I'm just glad I got this podcast tonight, because I was like I feel terrible. I'm gonna push through. It'll be fun because he's always giving me an adrenaline boost. I hate working house fires where people have lost collections like that, especially Star Wars still has value.
Yeah, they do. I was cleaning a house probably 20 years ago, and a closet was full of those original Star Wars. And out of everything, they're like, oh yeah, you can take they were just giving the stuff away. Out of that, they're like, no, I might hold on to it. I still think about that.
Try to sneak it out.
Yeah, like I couldn't do that. I couldn't in good conscience do that. Don't say I didn't think about it, but yeah, I know.
I remember thinking Chewbacca was a Bigfoot. Like, is that not a Bigfoot? I mean, clearly.
More or less, there's a rumor around that supposedly when they were filming the Ewok stuff with Chewbacca, that he had to have on an orange vest whenever in between scenes, so people wouldn't shoot him.
Yeah,
they were worried that people would shoot him.
That dude was legit 7 foot tall.
B&W. Yeah, I met him at Dragon Con one time. He was a big guy. He really is that tall, or was. He's passed away.
Chewbacca and Andre the Giant Bigfoot costume. Those are the goats. Yes. And I'm trying to segue this into talking about the Patterson Gimlin film, by the way. And just not to break down the fourth wall, but I had on Eduardo. He's a dog. He's got a dog nose, little red. He got the little smushed in dog nose. He has nipples down his chest, not like one, like a terrier. There's that meme that says, "Did Chewbacca have like 2 nipples like a person, or like 8 dog nipples?"
Oh. I got distracted by the comments. Only caught half of it. So I was like, wait, what?
What are you talking dog nipples?
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, he was they were dog people, apparently. Because they did have the little smushed in nose. Lucas had seen a Bigfoot.
Huh. I'll have to look into that.
I don't know why somebody like with that much money, and maybe even like a Elon Musk type, doesn't put like a whole $1 billion into the Bigfoot research. I don't know. Somebody like a crazy eccentric billionaire, like make it happen. Because you get like these guys that have like 2 or 3 million to put into it, like Cliff Brockman, and they're rich, but they're not like rich.
Yeah. Well, who was I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but the guy who's purchased Skinwalker Ranch, he's just like this another eccentric millionaire, and
That kind of thing. It's the same
If
thing.
they're studying stuff like that, why can't Bigfoot be a thing? Well, take that back. Tom Slick with all of his money back in the day, him and
Mhm.
Peter Burns, with the Yeti and the Abominable Snowman stuff.
Mhm.
They had the money to throw at it. So, but that was back then. What about now?
I just
Now
don't
it's
think.
too not what's the word I'm looking for? Not controversial. I don't know, basically, they'll make fun of you about it.
Yeah, you'll
It's
be.
just funny.
Like you can't take it seriously. I don't think it's possible to find them in the way we think we can find them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's.
Absolutely.
It's like finding a ghost.
Yeah.
I found the ghost. Where'd it go? It's gone. And I don't think there's a body like, on the same token. Circling back, when you take something from a fae, it turns into ash and leaves and dirt,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's what the body happens to in some respect. Like anything that's physical here goes back to organic material
Mm-hmm.
when it kind of pieces out.
What is it? It says ashes to ashes, dust to
Mhm.
dust.
It was Ash Wednesday
And yet,
last week.
it was, yeah.
From ashes you came, from dust you'll return. That's why my throat's hurting, because I was out at the fish fry at church all night. What does this say? Owner of Bass Pro Shops backed that one Sasquatch show. That is questionable.
Which one?
Oh. Coke fed frogs, let's see if they still mate. We can still use those funds. Yeah, that was a Alex Jones rant with the frogs that are turning gay.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Have you heard the dubstep mix to it, or the
Mhm.
club dance mix to making the frogs gay?
I get the frogs gay, bravo.
Turn the
I'm-
freaking frogs gay.
I've met Eddie Bravo. I met him here in Huntsville.
Oh, fun.
The one that he was talking to when he said that, Alex Jones.
Oh, really?
I heard the frogs gay, bravo. He's a jiu-jitsu guy. Jesus. Anyway, back what I was saying. I had Eduardo Sanchez on here,
Mm-hmm.
director of Exists. Have you seen
Yes.
that? We were talking about how
Actually, no. I need to just hide in shame. I have not watched that movie yet.
you really should. It's up there.
I know. I need to.
It's amazing. Like a lot of times, like zombie movies and Bigfoot movies can't be made good because you're
Mhm.
limited by what your costume can be. The zombie movies, you just look like a homeless person that
Mhm.
that you just make your face rotted off and you're a zombie. The
Yeah.
Bigfoot movies like you're a ghillie suit, but that exists one. Eduardo said he looked like somebody that was like a meth head in a trailer.
Oh, wow.
He looks like somebody that does meth in a trailer. But we're asking him if I asked him what he thought about the Patterson suit, and he said that long ago, for what that was, he said it'd be hard to replicate because how hard it was for him to make that suit that he had for
Mhm.
Exist. And he said it fell apart within months.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just deteriorated.
Interesting. So a little background. He actually donated the baby from that movie
Oh, really?
to David Becerra,
Really?
and
Is that your
I got to
museum?
see it. Yeah, at the museum. It's not on display anywhere. David's got it in storage right now, just because he couldn't really figure out how to display it without it being upsetting
Yeah,
to,
it's a little
especially the
morbid.
small children. A little bit, exactly. It's a little morbid, and it's very lifelike. It was super creepy when
Mhm.
it came in the box, and it was kind of wrapped up in a body bag and stuff. And I got a picture on my phone that I wish I could pull up right now of me sitting in the back room at the Bigfoot Museum, and this baby dead Sasquatch is laying on the table in front of me, and I'm sitting there eating Chinese food right next to it.
Yeah, it's such a
So
good movie.
that's just some of my day to day there.
Yeah. Well, spoiler alert: the baby gets hit by a car.
Yeah, I knew about that. I heard about that.
An
Like, you're
immaculate
sick and I'm tongue tied.
Jeep Cherokee, by the way, in that movie.
Square body.
Mhm.
Nice.
Maybe a 2-door sport. That's your big boy. Those the other two: Lost Coast Tapes and Willow Creek.
Yes. Yeah,
Those
I've
are the
heard
other good ones.
about all three of those. Those are the good ones.
Hey, but I'll fight a grown man over The Dark Divide. That is a no shit goated Bigfoot movie, and it leaves stuff to like the wondering, and it has fear in it. And it almost be like if you'd have to have like maybe an edible would make it better. Have you ever seen Dark Divide with Todd Glass?
I have not. No.
Yeah, well, it's not really popular, but it's called Across the. Maybe because every time I say it, I get the name wrong, and I love the movie. Can't spell that. It's like I'm 75 years old. We went Dark Divide. Anybody in the chat seen it? Dark Divide with David Cross. It's about a PhD doctor in a college, and he got a grant to go do a month-long expedition in the woods to Pacific Northwest. I think it's by Mount Rainier, actually.
Okay.
On butterfly species after his wife passes away. And so like she passes away and he's trying to find himself again. He gets the grant after she passes away, kind of like a monkey's paw kind of thing. Like they were trying for it. She passes away, he gets it. So he was going to go with her before.
Yeah.
They end up out there and he starts hearing getting shit thrown at him, and whoop whoop. And he runs into a tribe of Native Americans, and they're like, "Oh, you saw him? You saw the big one? Yeah, don't get near him." Yeah, I would recommend it. Anybody on the chat? Dark Divide, right channel coming up. I don't have the sound on, but yeah, well worth it. It's like a Bigfoot movie where you don't really see the Bigfoot.
Scroll down a little bit more and you can see where it's streaming. Freebie, Pluto, probably on Tubi too.
It's on Amazon for free.
So I don't have Prime, but if it's on their free list,
it's on Tubi.
I would Prime. I'll watch it on Tubi. I got that one. That's where I watch. I'm more of a documentary nerd, so 90% of the time is just I've watched most of all the Bigfoot documentaries out there, and yeah, just the same thing with the movies. Some of them aren't that great. It's funny. Me and Roger were actually talking about that last week. So
yeah, you gotta be careful. Some of the Bigfoot movies are just they want to go ultra horror with a bad costume, and
that's just not my thing.
I mean, other than David Pilates, there's nothing that says that they're violent at all. And they may not. I mean, that might not even be them that's doing the David Pilates missing.
Exactly. It may not even be them. It may be something else, or they could be involved in some way or form, or unknowingly, or who knows.
I think that's when the world's going to end, is when we figure out the technology to see stuff like that. When we beat the game, like, okay, the credits are going to roll.
Yeah, credits are going to roll. The sky's going to open up like the Truman Show. Surprise, guys! It was all just a game. Or we'll wake up out of the Matrix or something. We'll have to unplug ourselves.
I wonder how many times that's actually happened. I've been on that big universal thing. I've been on that big universe thing lately. I'm talking to one lady who's got a book called where is it? I never had the book I'm looking for where I can find it. It's called Burnt Glove Boxes. Her name is Gina Berry Ramsey, I believe. And I had her on the show before, and she got another book. She's mailing me one. And she had oh my Lord, I don't want to say it. She was looking for a document from her dead mother. And it was in the glove box of a car that her mother gave her. I'm butchering the story, but this is long and short of it. And she put I think it was a pair of eyeglasses on the seat. And she came back out of the store and her car was on fire. And the glasses had caused this refraction so bad that it started burning her glove box of her car.
Snap.
And they got in there and opened the glove box up, and she found the document in there. And that's loosely what happened. That's freaky stuff. That's that universal stuff that happens.
Yeah. Synchronicities or
they've been happening to me a lot lately. I keep waiting. I'm like, what are we leading up to?
Yeah, same actually.
Whenever stuff starts happening like that a lot, like I start seeing my angel numbers like consecutive, like, oh shit, what is going to happen today? So, it always does. And I'm like, what is that? Why are you sending me all of these? Wait. It's like when you're in a video game and the music turns up
Uh-huh.
And you're like, what is about to, and all of a sudden the dude jumps out. That's what it's like to me. I get to work, something bad
Or you,
happens.
you find a whole bunch of health pots and mana and there's a
Yeah.
save point. You're like,
What is about to
about to go
happen?
down.
You do that and the screen goes and you can't look up and the controller starts shaking.
Yep.
See, Flat Rock is in here. Yeah. I thought he said Flat Rock. Yeah, that's so where are you on the woo and the aper?
Oh, I'm way down that rabbit hole myself.
Yeah.
And of course I'm totally open to the flesh and blood theories as well, because you gotta have both.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think there's way too much out there that would warrant the woo as being an actual thing.
Mm-hmm.
From just witness testimonies, what people have seen, what people found, my personal experiences. So yeah, I definitely think there's woo. And then, like I said, it definitely delves into some of the super. Let me start over again. You're sick, and I've got the tongue tied this evening.
Yep.
You were talking about some of the face stuff
Mm-hmm.
earlier, and it's paranormal and super. So I love the category woo that's been added here for the Bigfoot phenomenon. And it's always like woo. So I don't know. I find that funny.
Mm-hmm. The my friend I've talked about from Minnesota, he said he doesn't like to say it's woo. He says that's just the way they are. They're not woo. They just have that ability.
I like that actually. That's just how they are.
And they're just,
which is what I believe as well.
I'm actually okay with it. Like this may sound crazy. Like I don't have a hard time believing in the paranormal. I've never had much of an experience. I've had a couple things happen, like SD sessions and body shoots and a couple of little things in a haunted hospital. But as far as anything happened, like no reason for me to believe it, but I don't think like too many people see this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
For one thing, and for it to be a, just a mountain gorilla nobody's found, and it's just out there for all this time now. I don't, but they're still seeing it. There's game cameras everywhere. Yet, if it isn't on the game camera, you see like the back of it.
Yeah,
so it almost makes it more believable that they have some kind of. I mean, it makes sense. Maybe there's an animal that can do something. We got aliens all of a sudden. They're in Congress, for God's sakes.
Right. I love how they all of a sudden they've been denying people and putting them down for years, and like, oh, y'all are the crazy people, all these crazy UFO abduction people, and now they're in front of Congress, and it's totally a normal mainstream thing now. It's funny. I know you've probably seen all the memes on the internet, like, the world is so crazy that the government said aliens are real and nobody cares now.
Yeah. Comedian said, tell the aliens we'll call them back. We got some shit going on right now. We'll call them back.
Call them back.
Who is Shortwave? He called me Booby. Hey, Booby. I don't know. Some of these guys, I forget their handles. Roger's an easy one.
Mm-hmm.
Squatch and Holler. And he had that Don Odom guy on his show.
Mm-hmm.
The retired Tennessee game warden guy talking about the Bigfoot phenomenon I was looking at in Flintville, Tennessee for my documentary. I'm like, you got half my work done for me. So why don't you let me use that? I don't think he gets on here. Who's that? Shortwave. Who is the goal objective for Bigfoot if they are woo, other than survival? What would Bigfoot be doing here on Earth? I mean, that
is the $50 million question.
Yeah. I mean, think about how if you stay in the woods a long time with nothing, no phone, no nothing, you're just in the woods, and your brain gets to go to the frequency of nature. I don't know if you've ever done that before, but like if you're hunting, like you're in the woods for like 4 or 5 hours, and your brain and the vibration and the silence is loud. You know how it can be.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine just evolving it from that. That's what I think Bigfoot can be, or is kind of. They're with the vibration of nature, and they're elementals of sorts. So they have special vibrational powers. I'm throwing out stuff here. People are going to unsubscribe because this guy's on freaking peyote. But you know what I'm trying to say.
No, I totally get it. And trust me, you're not saying anything that other people haven't said on plenty of other podcasts. So
yeah, this isn't groundbreaking stuff, but like if that's the reason the Native Americans they weren't on computers all day. They were out there with them. So anytime things happened. They were just part of nature. It wasn't like they went outside. They were always outside.
Mm-hmm.
To be inside was to be outside. So yeah, it's just the same vibrations. All about vibration and frequency. Oh, I love getting into that frequency. Yeah, that loudness.
It's very soothing. It just your brain just can be quiet for a little while.
I should probably do it more. I used to do it a lot growing up. When I grew up in the woods.
Me too. Yeah, I don't get to do it as much as I used to.
And I get bored quick lately.
Yeah, me too. That's actually one of the main reasons. Besides getting bored and I get weirded out. Like there's a bear or Bigfoot or something behind me. I get in my head too much. I think that's what I get from working at the museum and being in this subject matter all the time. My brain is going down all these like missing 411 rabbit holes, or am I going to walk into a portal and never be seen again or something?
Maybe they're studying how true nature works, like the harmony of Mother Earth. And they take back info to wherever they came from. Who knows? Yeah, who knows?
That's a good theory. I like that.
Nephilim watchers.
There are definitely plenty of theories of them being dropped off here, or that they're the original peoples of the earth, and then that we are here as the experiment.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at a while ago. Is their evolution was them going with that frequency. They evolved into that frequency instead of being like we're the people that the Anunnaki bred into being people. Bred to be. We're the people that they made into people, and they are the true lineage of our species. I've heard that one before. Never going to know. Now Jeremiah says we're going to get disclosure this year.
Yes, yeah. He's been pushing for disclosure really good, and it would be really awesome. But honestly, I'm not holding my breath for it.
I would take a Costco-sized sample of disclosure of it.
That is true. We actually got some of that last year or the year before. There was some FBI files that were finally aged out enough to get it. And it wasn't but like a page or two, but it was an actual file with the FBI about Bigfoot or Sasquatch. So I thought that was neat.
Yeah, just give me the piece of Chinese chicken on a toothpick's worth of disclosure, just so I know that you thought about it. Kind of like the Gate Project with the manifestation and the particles, thoughts become particles. And I did a whole like 5-minute little thing on that because I was like, wait, this is just out there, and we're just going to work when it can do making thoughts into particles. Which then
could end up because matter is particles, and if our thoughts become particles, then they can form into matter, which then would end up making the tulpas because they have been manifested into something. So the tulpa rabbit hole is really, really neat. I really looked into some of that, and I definitely think that could definitely be a big possibility into a lot of these cryptids and paranormal things.
It's definitely real. I mean, like what you just said, if it's possible to make a thought into a particle, then a lot of people thinking about Bigfoot. At least 15 tonight on this show, which is pretty cool. And at the South Park Imagination Land with the tulpas, I watch that a lot. I consider that to be like almost like not pseudoscience, but like parallel thinking about how that could work. And like it's led by like Jesus and Ashlyn and Santa Claus and Zeus are all at the head of the table. Yeah. I was watching that episode one night, and there's have you seen it? The Imagination Land, the whole thing?
I have. It's been years, but yeah, I've seen them.
You get it then. But like they get invaded by Muslim terrorists, like Osama bin Laden.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's been so long. I don't remember any of that.
Well, there's a scene where Butter's just getting the shit beat out of him by the terrorist. And my 4-year-old and I were watching it, and she goes, turn it off. I don't want to see Butters get beat up. They're beating up Butters.
They're beating up Butters.
She goes, they're beating up Butters. Like, I'm a bad
Isn't that what happens to Butters like every episode, though?
Oh, hamburgers. Gotta love Butters. Leopold Scotch. We had the tulpa thing, the disclosure. Like, how would they? I always wonder how would they disclose it if there's no bodies. What are they going to disclose? That they're there? That they know they're there? Like, Like, are they in Yellowstone? What would they even disclose? What's that? If they don't have a, what's this? Check out Society of Psyop UFO in the Future of Media by Trevor.
Interesting. Is that a book or documentary or like YouTube series or?
I'll check it out. Society of the Psyop. The Art of the Deal. What is this? Oh, it's like a journal. Yeah, it's a journal.
It's a paper, he says, or they said.
Yeah, it's a paper. I'm looking at it right now.
Cool.
We're gonna do a whole dissertation.
Now you got to be a friend and send it to me.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Sweet.
Shows how the government uses psyop.
I need some need more reading material.
Have you read Mothman?
I have not. I have watched a million documentaries on it, though. I will say I am actually kind of freaked out about trying to read it, even though I know I need to. And there's a story behind that. Obviously been into cryptids and Mothman and everything like that for a long time. And last year, when I came back to work at the museum, I was reading a book that I was showing the other night. It's called Eerie Appalachia. And the very first chapter in it is about Indrid Cold and the Mothman stuff. And as I'm reading that, I'm reading some of it, it's like super creepy, like right off the bat. And some of the stuff that it was mentioning in there, I don't remember exactly what, but it was like either a description of a man or something like that. And that exact person comes into the museum, just kind of looks around and then walks out and then leaves, and then like creepy stuff starts happening to me for like a couple of days after that. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm just gonna leave that alone for a little while.
Like a lanky dude in a suit.
Something like, I just remember it was really creepy and like, and somebody came in and they started talking about, they were from West Virginia and remembered like, and he started talking about like Men in Black out of the blue all of a sudden, like, okay, this has been kind of creepy.
No one asked about that, dude.
Yeah, exactly. They just started blurting it out. Like, we didn't even ask about it. Me and my coworker were just kind of looking at each other like, are you seeing this? Are you hearing this? Yeah, I am too. Okay. But stuff like that happens all the time. So the fact that it happened to be about Mothman and Indrid Cold, that was heebie-jeebies.
It is I think Mothman's more fun than Bigfoot, pound for pound.
I can agree in that. It's definitely got more, like I said, more universal stuff to it and more woo, I guess.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the Hellier documentary that was on Amazon?
Yeah. I've seen it a time or two. It's actually it'll suck you in.
Doesn't it though? When they started really delving into the Mothman and Indrid Cold stuff in the second season, and it really got dark in like the best way possible.
Like I started.
That's why I try not to mess with too much stuff, because I don't want it to mess with me.
I've tried to be really respectful about the Mothman thing when I was doing this, like just as a research kind of thing. Without, I haven't been trying to talk to a lot of witnesses or psychics or anything about it. Try not to breach any kind of veil. Like, I'm just in here for the academic part.
Yeah.
Just going to talk about it a little bit, my findings. Please don't harbinge my doom. Please don't make a bridge collapse.
Yeah. Or something bad happened to me.
I've had what's his name? Tobias Wayland. From he was on Unsolved Mysteries about Mothman Revisited. And like I was trying to find some kind of thing they were harbinging in Chicago. And I'm like, there's nothing happened other than a bunch of murders that happens all the time in Chicago.
Yeah.
I had like a spreadsheet. I'm like, okay, this happened this date, this happened this date. Because that happens every year.
Yeah.
Other than a giant flood that tore up a school.
Yeah, there's a book about that called I think it's called The Michigan Mothman, or the Lake Michigan Mothman, or something like that. It's come out probably in the last 5 or 6 years, and it's all about the.
That's Tobias.
Yes, there it is. Yes, that's the one.
I had him on the show
Oh,
last week.
Tobias, he was the author for that. That's awesome.
Yeah, he was the one that's from Unsolved Mysteries.
Okay.
That was on, but I got
I don't
him
know
on.
why I haven't put those together.
There's so many names. It's like
Yeah.
it's like a whole cinematic universe. It's like knowing like Star Wars.
Yeah.
There's a ton of Connies. That's all you need to know. A ton of Connies, and all the last names rhyme. There's Barlett and Parlett. I hope I'm not making you sleepy, Misty. Trying to make this entertaining.
See what Flat Rock said up there. He says, "I used to want government to disclose what they
Mhm.
know, but to me, it no longer matters. I am
Flat
right
Rock-
there with you, buddy."
Flat Rock doesn't need disclosure.
Yeah.
I still got Flat Rock. I still got to air your speaking portion from last month. I never did put that on there. I live streamed a conference down in Auburn,
Okay.
and wasn't going to live stream it, but I had all my stuff set up. I was going to do a podcast at the end of the conference with Jessica Jones and Flat Rock, and I had it all set up, ready to go at like 6 a.m. They're like, "Why don't you live stream?" I'm like, "Nah, I wasn't going to." They're like, "Why don't you live stream?" After the 10th person, I'm like, "Okay, live streaming."
Like screw it, doing it.
And I put a mic up and a camera less than 6 foot from these people. The next day, they're like, "Dude, why'd you live stream?" I'm like, "First of all, you're 6 foot from the camera the whole time, so don't act like you didn't know it was there." And they wanted me to take it down. So I'm like, "Okay, sure." Well, Flat Rock didn't know I was either, but he wants me to put it back up there, so I'm gonna air his. But he did a little interview on the show too. Pork chops, man, I'm starving. Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's actually very much where I kind of stand on these things.
What's the guy's name? Bashar, who like speaks for an alien, and this guy like gets in a trance and starts saying, "You are here from you're bred from other species," and I think his name is Bashar. I think he like talks for an alien. He says they slipwalk into the other dimension. That's how they get away. That's why you'll see a footprint, no other footprints. Yeah, they either don't exist or that's the explanation. There's not a hidden mountain gorilla out there we don't know about.
Exactly.
It's just not. And I get in these. I used to, not anymore. I don't care that much anymore because I'm trying to expand above it. But I used to get in these fights with these guys. I'm like, well, obviously something's being seen, and there's no. It's not like a flesh and blood creature 24/7. Like, well, then it doesn't exist. I'm like, well, what do you want, man? Michael X is here. I feel like we should do a trick for him. Got the entire woodwalker in the midst. What else should we talk about? See, the purpose of this was to get, just introduced before the conference next week.
Yeah.
Hoping I can talk, or I'm going to tell Neil I can't MC.
Keep up with those cough drops.
Yeah. I'm struggling. I got this kind here called a vapor cool.
Oh, those are stout. Yeah.
It's almost like doing smelling salts.
Yeah. They're a little stout.
My uncle's got them because he's always getting stuffed up. Take one of them, boy. You'll either kill you or cure you. I had to take one to drive home a while ago.
Oh.
Where did this unknown cryptid? Are you new? Unknown cryptid? Haven't seen you on here before. Probably some of the names. There's so many names that'll flash through on a show. You forget who they are.
Oh, cool. You're going to be there, Flat Rock. I'll get to meet you in person. I've seen your name on so many different things. I think we've connected on Facebook or something. So that'll be cool to meet you in person.
Yeah, Flat Rock's fun. The Phyllis and John Lamb will be there. They saw a creature on Flat Rock's place.
Okay.
They're from Mississippi.
The names. Okay. Ooh, what part of Mississippi?
I think south toward Biloxi.
Ah, gotcha. My husband's family is from North Mississippi.
It's south of Atlanta, Misty.
In Jonesboro.
Yeah.
If you go to encountersconference.com, All the information is there where you can buy tickets, and it's got the address and everything.
I think I'm going to be the MC on Saturday too. So I don't know I don't know what I'm going to say. I haven't prepared a thing. I'm going to be winging it to the 10th degree.
Don't feel bad. I'm supposed to present like a whole hour-long thing. And yeah, I've just in the last like week just barely have started putting it together. I kind of procrastinated to the last minute, and the last minute kind of snuck up on me. So, oops.
Yeah, I think I'll have plenty of time. If I don't do anything else, I'm just going to air the documentary that I have. It's like a
Yeah.
preview. Like it's 25 minutes,
hmm
and then I can fill the rest up with some filler content. And one of my friend Glenn Jackson lives in Snellville, Georgia, over there,
hmm
and he's got some experiences, and I'm hoping he comes, and
That'd
I
be
can just
cool.
wedge him on stage and make him talk for 10 minutes. Here, fill some time. Flat Rock, are you speaking? You're not speaking, are you? Hang on. Where'd it go? I had a tab open. There's your face. Hey, I'm right below you there.
Yeah, you're on there twice too. I was
Yeah.
like, or unless they fixed it on the mobile, you was anyways.
Yeah. It had
No, he's
like
not
Bobby
speaking.
Dizzle and the Caffeinated Cryptid on there, separate ones.
Yeah.
It's the same guy. Oh, Scott and Sheila, I forgot about them. Who's the one with the that did the sound thing? Is that Neil Ryan?
It was down at the very bottom, if I
Um,
remember right. I forget his name. It was somebody new, or I didn't recognize the name.
Mark Newbell.
Yes. I'll look at my phone too. I had it.
Oh, that's
silenced.
Sawdust Beast. Nathan Robinson. I'm just looking at the at the encounters. Well, Flat Rock, if you want to get up there and tell a 5-minute story, you're welcome to if you're there.
Yeah. Have you met Scott and or Sheila Granger yet?
Yeah. Met them a few times.
Yeah, they're great people. Yeah, Mark Newbill, he's the guy who's going to be there for the analysis. This is he's a field analysis
That's Sawdust Beast guy,
guy.
isn't it?
Yeah, Beast, Beast, Bigfoot evidence. Yeah, Sawdust team. Yeah, that's him.
I thought I recognized him. What I don't know is I just get in random trolling arguments on the internet. Like, who have I pissed off? Who are these people?
I'm trying not to do that.
Well, I like to just.
But I know it's going to happen.
I just like to aggravate folks. Like when they give me like a little bit of shit, I'll give it right back because first of all, it increases the algorithm. I mean, I can just give you some stickers, shortwave. I gotta find them. I got some here somewhere. I got 2 or 3 big bowls that I was putting on the table, and I don't know. They're like some of them are in my truck still. Some are in here. I'm like you though. I'll probably just be business carding it up.
Mm-hmm. Works really good. Yeah, I'm very excited about the audio analysis stuff. That's something I've been wanting to learn because I just don't know about it, or I haven't been taught anything about it.
Here's my plan. I'm bringing my table and my table condom that I call it. I don't know what you call it. You know, it's like the stretchy thing, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put all my stuff on it. Depending on if the stage is big enough.
Yeah.
And I've got my stand that has my QR code on it that's taller than me.
And nice. That's actually smart.
Yeah, whenever I speak, I'm just gonna go to the front and take it with me and and introduce it. I'll take it back and set it behind me again. So it kind of be like my representation.
Yeah, I'm just gonna bring a fold-out table, and I don't have a thing, so because I'm doing a lot of historical stuff and I'm talking about Appalachia, or that's my plan to. I've got an old quilt. I'm just going to take it and drape it over it like a tablecloth. And I've got some, I've started printing out some of the news articles that are going to be in my presentation to lay out on the table, and some stickers, that kind of stuff. Mostly just to meet and greet people.
I feel bad because I haven't put hardly any thought into this.
That's all I've got. Like I said, I've messed it all up. I didn't plan ahead I didn't get any merch, nothing like that. No logo stickers for promotions, anything like that. Yeah, I'm just raw dogging this thing.
Yeah, well, the one down in Auburn that I did, I put so much thought into it. Like I was spent. Like I don't want to do these. Some people do these all the time. I don't want to do these all the time.
Yeah, I mean, this has definitely been a huge learning curve for me. Trying to get all this together. It's been fun. it's bringing me back into some of my my office work kind of days when I was in marketing and stuff.
Mhm. What? See, I don't want to sound selfish or mean,
Mhm.
but I don't get a lot of subscribers out of doing these things. I can post like an AI thing of me analyzing a dogman sighting in Missouri and get sometimes hundreds,
Yeah.
but I go to these and I get 10 or 12
Yeah. No,
from.
I can relate. Yeah, I haven't, and I'm like a lot of people, money is nice, not gonna lie, but yeah, not making a dime off of anything I'm doing yet either. I'm
Yeah,
still just along for the ride. I've just started getting on this, and if that happens, great. If not, it's okay too. Like I said, I never
yeah.
started it for that anyways.
I did start for that, but not like to get rich. I started like
Yeah,
chase after the dream, not after the money, but I would like to be a career.
that'd be cool.
And I've got a plan. I've got analytics. I've I've had pattern recognition because I'm like super ADHD when it comes to that.
Hmm.
Like for example, I was taking jujitsu classes, and I'm like, how do you get a promotion around here? How do you get a strap on your belt or an upgrade? And so
Hmm.
I went to their Instagram, found out they only gave promotions on Tuesdays. So I started going on Tuesdays. Lo and behold, promotion. I was like, that's not
I was like, is
cheating.
that it? That's all I needed.
No, that's when they do like, if you go to there regularly, it's usually after work, before work. Everybody had a regular class time, not mandatory, but like
Hmm.
everybody's schedule kind of worked in. And they did. Everybody went to a certain class, and the people who went to the morning classes all the time, they got theirs in the morning and like a random day. People who goes to the night classes, they got theirs on Tuesdays, and it seemed to be the day they do it. And so I started going to, a couple classes a couple of other classes through the week, but always go on Tuesday. And every 8 weeks, promotion. I did that for about a month and a half. Boom, promotion. That's just that's how I look at life. It's not cheating. It's not cheating,
No,
is it? It's like just finding out what the analytics of it. And I think that I've got a thing called the Million Pod March, and
nice.
you go on. It's the I think the equation. I'm boring the shit out of everybody right now. I think the equation is for every 6,000, approximately 6,000 subs that channel that you guest on has, you'll get 10 to 20 subs yourself.
Hmm.
So if you go on a million um, subs worth of shows, you get about 1,500 subscribers to your channel. But
Yeah.
if you go on to if you go on to if you go on to 100 million worth, you get 100,000 subscribers. So I've been looking at doing that. I might have to employ some outsourcers from India or something to help me find $100 million.
You found the algorithm to it all.
Well, I just got to noticing that I'd go on these channels. Do you remember Anthony Ensign Player?
That name doesn't ring a
S4,
bell now.
S4. Well, I think he quit a couple of years ago, but he had about 10,000. And I
Hmm.
noticed I got 20 subs from him. And I went on, like DA Roberts, and
Hmm.
I'd get 10 or 15 from him. And so I wrote down all the shows I'd been on and divided them out, averaged them out. And so it was 6,666 was the average, and I get 10 to 20 each time.
Hmm.
And and I usually put the my website right there where it says my name.
Hmm.
That's what it is. I don't know. I'm just always trying to find the way to 10x it every time and try to grow.
Yeah.
Because I know about 10,000 followers is when you start getting little brand deals. 100,000 is when you can start seriously looking at quitting your job and doing it.
Hmm.
And a million is, a million's a million. You're by default, you're paying off the house there.
So yeah, you're good to go then.
Yeah.
You got that good YouTube money then.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was looking at like merch and brand deals, piecing it all together.
Hmm.
It's kind of I'll try anything. Amanda and Bobby, where's the conference? It's in Jonesboro, Georgia.
Yeah, it's if you go to encountersconference.com, you'll it has all the info there. That's the main website for it. You can also go to my social media pages,
Yeah, it's on
Amanda
there.
Bigfoot Lady. There it goes. Perfect. Yeah, I have it posted on my my socials as well.
Um,
Yeah, I talked to Neil from Bigfoot Talks, who's putting on the conference
Mhm.
earlier this week, and they still have tickets available. So snag them up if you want them.
Is are you gonna go stay in? Like, you live close enough to drive. You're not gonna stay in a
Technically,
hotel.
technically, yes, I am going to get a hotel for one night,
Is
just
it the
because
one
they're.
he found a surprise for?
No, I actually haven't booked a hotel yet, so
Oh,
I'm going to get his like last minute. But either way, if it comes down to it, we got family down there.
yeah.
We could bunk with for a night. But yeah, technically, we could drive back. We live
Yeah, it's
probably
not far
an
from.
hour and a half, 2 hours from
Yeah,
our house, but to have to turn around and then come right back early first thing in the morning. We're just gonna
yeah.
just
I
book it for one night.
I got it for both nights just cause he got us a deal on them.
Mhm.
Like, if I got to think about it, I'll be back in Huntsville at 10 p.m., 9 or 10
Mhm.
p.m. I said, nah, we'll just find a cool restaurant or hibachi and go to it. Maybe we'll hang out with some of the guys. Hang out, maybe Greg.
Yeah.
Maybe if y'all stay around, I don't know. I just don't. I've been real bad about when I do these things, any kind of podcast related activity, be it a camping trip or go to a conference. I'll just leave afterwards, no matter what time of day
Mhm.
it is, and end up just
Yeah.
almost dying on the way home with my daughter in the car with me. I'm like,
Oh no!
was
Don't
was
do
so
that.
sleepy. Yeah, she doesn't care. She's on her phone. She doesn't know she's near death half the time.
That's true.
We were out camping at this one place, and we were this monsoon came. It was on the summertime. It was in August, I think. And this summer rain came, which is the end of the world kind of storm,
Mhm.
and it flooded the campsite. Our tent was fine, but people's tents were floating away.
Oh
And this
gosh.
was like on the side of a mountain. That's how bad it was. This was like
Oh my
the
lord.
North Carolina kind of thing, and everything got wet and it was soppy and like it just wasn't fun to be there anymore. I'm like, and
Mhm. No, once it gets all wet, it ain't no fun no more.
yeah, it was just like everything's wet and everybody's tents floating away, and the person I was closest to at the event left too, which I knew more. I could have hung out with those other guys, but I was like, I got to get home. And I'm just like driving. It was south of where Wendell lives, and I was just like, I got to get home. And I was struggling until we got there. Like, I was so happy to be at the house. My wife wouldn't let me go. She goes, you cannot even go to bed unless you get a shower. She goes, you get in the shower. I don't care what. Just you got to do something because I can smell you. You smell. And the bad thing about it was, I bought this new cot and a bedroll for my daughter,
Mhm.
and I don't know what the hell the bedroll. It's that thick, and the
Mhm.
size of a twin bed, and some kind of weird foam, and it was like wrapped in cellophane when I got it, and it
Yeah.
stunk like it. That's probably what Bigfoot smells like. I don't know what it was made of, but this thing smelled so bad. Like I thought that, like, did you go to the bathroom on yourself in here? I'm like, what is that smell? Like everything in the tent smelled like this foam thing.
I gotta ask a funny question. Did you have,
Go.
or if you can't, if the tag is still on it, look and see if it was made in India or Sri Lanka. The reason I say that is because um, there's some certain merchandise that comes into the
Hmm.
museum, and the boxes are just
Yeah.
absolutely reek of doo doo, so bad. And we look on the side that says "Made in India." We're like, that's
I'll have to
why.
check.
Okay.
Oh, it is in the garage right now, and you can still smell it just a little bit when you get in. Like what? And like I thought that we weren't showering regularly for like 18 hours, and
Yeah.
maybe we sweated or something,
You're like, is that me?
and I'm just like, Jesus Christ! And I found out I was rolling everything back up, like it's this thing. What is this? Sweet mother of God! Why does it smell so bad? And like, how's it? How I bought it from Academy? How are those things even in Academy? Like they're in stacks. It's just the Boy Scout special. It's the regular bedroll. Like they've got to think they've
What
got some kind of
you get
infestation.
you get between that and this the stinky teenager camping funk. Ugh.
Yeah, dude, there's no Febreze in it, man. It's in the molecules. There's not. It's the essence of whatever that is, and I'm gonna go check on it here in a minute, see if it is made in India. Because it just smells like if you were living in a tent for like a month straight. That kind of smell. Like I was like, do you stink? Like what? It's not me. I've never smelled that smell before. Why does it smell like that?
Hmm.
And I don't know. I thought maybe like we were in this little tent and it's like a enclosed environment and things happen. And we're in the woods, and but then I realized it wasn't that, and I was like, well, this is disgusting. This is why. Like I never even looked it up. But the many fun things. But that I smelled like that when I came to my house. My wife's like, you gotta have a shower. It's not me, I promise. I felt like George Costanza. I was in the pool. All right. What up? All right. I think we can wrap it up. I think we're doing good. We're gonna have a nice conference next week. Everybody stop by encountersconference.com. Let's go over the guest list again. Amanda Stowers is going to have a very well produced presentation for us. Me, Greg Ogles. Anyways. Yeah. Greg's film's going to be that night, isn't it? Friday night?
Yeah, I think Friday night it's gonna premiere down there, which is why I haven't watched it yet, because I wanted to watch it for the first time at the conference.
You're gonna like it. It's whenever the one part I don't like about it is when they start having the conversation toward the end. There's this big like planning thing about what they're going to do, investigate. And I'm like, okay, Greg, get on with it. But other than that, it's really good. But you can't just tell. It's like you have to have build up to enjoy it. So it's like, because I already knew it was going to happen. So I'm like, come on now, let's get to the part. But as far as there's a couple of scenes where they're doing like an SD session. That's amazing. There's even a little special surprise there. I won't even spoil. And cool. And then during the investigation, when they go out on location at LBL, that's one of the scenes scared my daughter. She goes, that was scary.
Oh.
She'll be there this weekend too.
Cool.
Yeah, we're staying. All right, everybody. Anybody got any final comments? Michael X, thanks everybody for stopping by. We're going to go watch Righteous Gemstones and White Lotus and prepare for the Sunday night scaries for work tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to wind down for the night and start getting ready for Monday, going to work back tomorrow.
Is your job the Bigfoot Museum?
It is.
Well, that must suck.
But doesn't mean I still don't like getting up in the morning.
Well, Michael X, yeah, you made it to LBL. The bad thing is the Big Georgia Bigfoot conference is the next week.
Yeah, it was either this weekend or the weekend after that one. Yeah, I couldn't remember because I know Neil had to fix that because he didn't realize it was accidentally going to get scheduled on the same weekend.
And then the one I did down in Auburn was the weekend before Les's he had it up there in Blue Ridge. Les had a conference. Like, what?
He did, yeah. I didn't get to make it to that one. I was working. I work most Saturdays, and people ask me all the time, it's like, did you get to go to this conference or that conference? I'm like, no, I'm usually working on Saturdays because they need somebody to hold it down on the weekends, which is me.
Yeah.
And
it seems like everything I do with this thing is 4 hours away. It's just so far. That's
not just a job, it's an adventure. That's the truth. It really is. I've had all kinds of every type of job you can imagine. I've worked retail, I've worked in a bank, I've been a vet tech, which was one of my favorites. But I worked in the oil fields in North Dakota with my husband, and now I'm back working in the Bigfoot Museum, and so I'm not leaving this time. I'm staying. You can't make me.
I wouldn't go either. All right, folks, we're gonna hit that music and see everybody this weekend. Thanks,
see y'all
Amanda.
There.
Thanks.
All right, see ya. We'll see you there.
Bye.
I never didn't believe in Bigfoot. I never believed in it. I didn't believe in it. I never gave it any thought.
They kept wood knocking back and forth to each other, and it was in a pattern.
Barn owls don't typically throw rocks.
I come across these tracks.
Sasquatch is still not on my mind.